pick up a 2 or maybe 3 dubs every day is the life for me. Could get a job cause I need the cash, but nah, I think I'd rather sit on my ass. I get I'm pushing my luck and I'm much better off when I'm totally drunk. I know one of these days my time will come, but until that day, give me a bottle of rum.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Trailer Park Live here on the 2nd Street Marvel, where we're coming at you live every single Friday night at 8 p.m. So, make sure you invite your friends and tell them to come hang out with us here on Fridays at 8 p.m. because we usually go over my comic book pull list and then we get into talk about some of the different news and things from the week. So, and we've got a lot to talk about this week as well. There is a bunch of Endgame theories that gotta be shot down, and because we got a bunch of TV spots and trailers, we've also got news about Tom Holland, Apple, and even Motley Crue's The Dirt. So, let's get into it. First issue I have was Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 3. This series has been really good. I'm not sure if you watched my comic book pull list on Wednesday, but these issues have been really good. I haven't got to this one quite yet, but the first 2 issues have been great. Donny Cates doing an amazing job in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, the next one was Captain Marvel issue number 3. Now this series hasn't been too bad. I've liked this one. As you can see, I got the movie variant edition on this issue. I just thought that was pretty cool. Different. I like the other issue too, but I just had to get that one. Okay, the next one was Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man issue number 4. I haven't got to this issue yet either, but this series has been pretty good. You know, I like Spider-Man, and I really can't complain about this one. The story in it's pretty good. The art in it's been pretty good. So I'm going to continue doing that one for now. Like I said, it is a bi-monthly mag, and they get to be a lot. Along with this next one, Uncanny X-Men issue number 14. Is that number 14? Yeah, number 14. We were getting through these things quick, man. The first 4 went, or the first 10 went consecutive in a week. I think they're doing the same thing with Avengers No Road Home. There's an issue dropping every week for like the first 10 issues. Ugh, man, it's a lot. Then next, Star Wars Age of the Republic, Padme Amidala, issue number 1. I got this one for my daughter. She was asking for it, so we're going to get with her and we're going to sit down and read that. The next one was Dynamite Comics issue number 2 of Army of Darkness and Bubba Hotep. I haven't got to the first issue yet, but I'm going to read a couple of these issues and I'll let you all know more about those in a future video. Okay, now the one I forgot to put on my comic book pull list, which my comic book shop is normally good about this. Anytime there's a Spider title out, they usually have one pulled for me, and they just forgot to this time. Totally forgive them because they're just such an awesome shop. But that is Spider-Man Life Story issue number 1, the 60s. Now I haven't got to read this one yet, but as far as I know, and I could be wrong here, and you can certainly leave that down in the comments and beat me up about it, is I believe this is like a story that is going to be like about his life, about Peter Parker's life had he just aged normally through time, like basically about him growing up and getting older. I could be wrong there, could totally be wrong there, but as far as I know, that's what it was about. Now the next issue I have here is Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 4. Okay, now I did get a chance to read this one. I do like this issue, and I'm very glad that I do, because I want to tell you, after reading issue number 3, I was kind of like, oh man, really? Because in issue number 3, Captain America is in the issue, and obviously you guys know you probably know that I do like Captain America. I've been reading that series. The series has been great. The Captain America that just launched last year, the new series that just started last year. Now, this Miles Morales Spider-Man, Captain America was in there in issue number 3. I haven't done any reviews of these ones yet, but in the 3rd one, they got him in there, and they put some stuff in there with him. I was kind of like, really? Like, I mean, I get it, but like, come on, man, it's Captain America. You guys are going to treat him like that? I don't know. It was just something I didn't like. It took me out of the story when I seen it. I was kind of like, come on, you guys are just making him look like a bumbling fool here. I mean, this is Captain America. Come on. And I really, it took me out of the story. I didn't know what to think. I was like, man, come on. And this issue, I would say, kind of redeemed it. The story in this one was pretty good. It's very entertaining. I did like this one, but this may be one of the ones that I might wait for trades after I get the first 5 or 6 issues. I'll just see how that goes on the next issue. But overall, I did like this issue. It was very good. It's very, let's say, very reminiscent of an adolescent movie growing up. Say like a John Hughes movie. Let's leave it at that. Now the next issue I have here is Spider-Man City at War, issue number 1. Okay, now this comic book is based off of the Sony video game. You can see right there. It says Gameverse on there. You can see it's based off of the Sony's Spider-Man, the video game that came out last year. And the thing I want to tell you about this is it's based on that video game. As you can see from the cover, I can't remember. I know I've seen that art before. Maybe it's just because I've been seeing the ads getting ready to come out for it. But you can see it's the Spider-Man from the video game, and I'll tell you that this first issue basically covers stuff that's in the video game. You don't have to play the video game to get what's in this comic, because that's what it is. It's basically telling you the story that happens in the video game. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I was expecting something a little different, I guess. But it wasn't a bad issue. It was well drawn. It's got some great art in it. The story, like I said, I mean, it's basically a regurgitated story that we got in the video game. And like I said, that's not a bad thing, because there are probably some people out there who want to read this and haven't played the video game. So if that's you, definitely for you. Now, maybe for a collector, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people say that these comic books aren't going to be worth much anyway in the first place because the print and everything that they're on. So I don't know. Overall, I mean, like I said, I knew the story that was going on as soon as I started reading. I was like, hey, wait a second. Like, at first I kind of felt like all those people did when the first Avengers Endgame Prelude comic came out. And like, hey, what's this? Yeah, you all remember how you felt when that came out and you bought that comic book and you all were pissed off. Yeah, I know. I knew what to expect, though. I kind of figured that's what it was going to be. But over the range of all 3 issues, I thought we were going to get a little more out of that Avengers Endgame Prelude comics. But maybe we're going to get something out of the Spider-Man Far From Home issues. That one of them was due to release this week, but it looks like it got pushed back to the 27th. That'll be coming out next week, along with that Detective Comics issue number 1000. They're doing a midnight release of that at my comic book shop. And yeah, you can see right here they got this thing going on there. They're doing a midnight release of it. Go in there and get your comic books, and it's pretty cool. Basis Cards and Comics in Lancaster, California. If you're ever in the area, you should stop in and check them out. Other than that, we've also got this issue of Hawkman. Hopefully, I wonder if DC has as much problem selling these issues as I do giving them away. Because you know what? Still got to get rid of this thing. Nobody's answering any questions or anything for this book. So if you want this book, you know what? Hell, just leave a comment and it's yours. Okay, now moving on. Like I said, we do got a lot of things to discuss today. Now, before we get into all the news, there are a few things I wanted to cover really quick. I'm not sure if you've seen some of my videos from earlier this week. There is something different I want to start doing here on the channel. As you see, my show, The Trailer Park Live, sometimes most of them are usually at least an hour long, and sometimes they're quite a bit longer than that. I think I had one day that was about 2 hours long. Now, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start chopping them up into shorter kind of sound bite pieces, okay? So basically, the more digestible videos for somebody who don't want to sit around and watch an hour-long show or an hour and a half or 2 hours, however long we go. It depends on how many of you are there interacting with me here on the show. It's always fun the more people there are. So you should invite your friends to get here and watch the show with us. Now, like I said, I am going to be chopping it up into little segments. So I want to start formatting the show where I am talking about a certain subject here, and, just things like that. And, of course, at the same time, we will go over any of viewer questions or anything like that. And if you have any questions, one of the best things to do to get it onto the show is maybe just shoot me a message. You can send me an email here on my About section on YouTube. You can find my email, or you can even get a hold of me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, send me a message and send me a question or a topic you'd like me to cover. I can certainly do that. It's not a problem at all. And it's really, it doesn't matter what you want me to cover because I'm into a lot of things. I'm into music. I'm into movies. I'm definitely nerdy about I just got into the comic books last year, but definitely the MCU. And it's one of the reasons I really started this channel is something I wanted to talk about because I actually started off wanting to emulate some of the other channels out there that I like. Well, once I started making my content, I started finding, and I started really looking into these things and some of the stories these people were telling, and it made me be like, you know what, like, some of these things are completely, some of these people are completely full of it. Some of their theories are completely full of it. Now, I'm talking about some of the theories that some of these guys present. Not just, and I'm talking about, not just like the toy leak videos. I mean, there's toy leaks. Okay, you show the toys and hey, cool, whatever. But some of the crazy theories that people get based off of these toy leaks, okay? I just started finding these things hilarious and a lot of them make ridiculous content about it. Now, the other thing is about a lot of the ridiculous news out there. Now, a lot of people call it clickbait. I don't say it's clickbait. I mean, it's just news articles that people are covering, things that people are talking about. Now, one of the biggest sources of these is there's this internet website, and it seems like if you have an internet website, it just makes you a legit source for news, okay? And that's not exactly the case. Now, a lot of it is done through the rumor mill and things like that, but there are legitimate sources out there, and you should always track those down. And that's the thing I became passionate about while I started doing some of the videos that I'm doing, along with presenting theories. You all know that I like theories, and I definitely like watching theory videos, but I like doing my own theories. I'm not out there trying to present all the other theories for that I'm you can find on the internet, anywhere on YouTube or Facebook or Reddit, anything like that. I'm not here for that. There's other channels out there that you can go to for that. Channels that are really good at covering that kind of information, and I could easily do that too, but that's what they're doing. They are good at that. I'm still developing as a channel, and I'm good at a lot of other things, and I'm very nerdy and knowledgeable about a lot of things. A lot of times when I go on here and do the show, it's unscripted. I'm not really looking on the IMDb or this or that for a bunch of information. I usually track down a source of a story if there's a certain story I want to tell, and try to get as viable information as possible to present to you, not just some guy that made a little tweet and everybody's going crazy about it because one guy made a tweet about a little commercial or a little preview on Instagram. Okay, that's just not how it works. I want to bring you the real news, and I want to show you what there really is. Bring a little bit of truth to it, and that's what I'm here for. And you know what? There's a lot of people that don't like that, and that's just fine. Like I said, I'm not out here to take up somebody else's space because, like I said, there's other channels that are good at that stuff. Like I said, one of my favorite channels, War Stew. Go check him out. He covers a lot of content, and he covers all those little theories and all the little toy leaks and all that stuff. He's a great channel. He is a relatively small channel for being a YouTuber, but you should definitely check him out. He's got some really great content. Another one of my favorite channels is The Den of Nerds. You should definitely check those out. Josh over there at The Den of Nerds does a show pretty much every single day of the week. On the weekends, he usually takes it off, and sometimes during the week, he takes a day off too. Hey, you know what? Sometimes we need time to, just a day off. We all do. And like I said, and they've got some really great live chats that they got going on over there. It's always a really good time. They do a really good job of moderating the page as far as their chats. So it's really fun. You should definitely check them out. And so, like I said, that's kind of, that's some of the channels that I like, and they go over and cover a lot of those things. If you want something smaller, you might even check out the Superhero Buzz. He's got a pretty good channel over there, and he covers a lot of that same content. And of course, there are plenty of other bigger channels out there that you can go follow. There's the Cosmic Wonder. There's Charlie over at Everything Awesome. There's the Marvelous, the Marvelous Wave. There's a bunch of them out there. But, like I said, I still watch all those channels. Don't get me wrong. I certainly do. But a lot of the things I like to do is I want to cut through all that and give you the real stuff, man. The real stuff. I'm not just going to read something from the internet or something like that for you. That's not what I'm here for. But if you want me to, I will. I can do videos like that. And if you haven't seen, this week I did start doing a couple other different live shows, just kind of little live spots throughout the week. So I probably am going to start doing some of those kind of things. So that's all I really have for right now. I've got to get onto the computer now because my camera here is getting ready to heat up. So we'll see you in a little bit less higher definition. As you can see, my camera here gets really good. It's a really good picture. That's also why I like doing this. You know, like those other channels out there, they show you all those pretty picture slideshows and everything. I don't have any of those pretty picture slideshows, and I don't want to use somebody else's art. You know what? If I start drawing again and start doing some of my art, maybe I'll put some of my art up here for you guys to check out. I like drawing pencils. That's what I do. But anyway, let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. So, yeah, you know, as you can see, that camera that I was just using right there looks a lot better than the camera I have right here. Yeah, and we got a lot to cover tonight, and I see we've already got a few people here watching. Emperor Pulp, welcome. Nice to have you here, man. Nice to have you here. Let's see, we've also got Captain Marvel. Okay, and we've got some questions here. Welcome, Captain Marvel. Nice to have you. Love the movie. Great movie. Love it. Really. Went and seen it 3 times. That's how much I liked it. Though I did have a couple problems with it. Overall, I did really like it. Okay, so I see we got a few questions. We'll get to those really quick. Where's the boss at? Oh, me. Sorry, man. I was a couple minutes late. I restarted my streaming software. It was something happened and it kicked all my files out, so I had to re-upload everything and get it all connected back in there. So I had to hurry up and get that done. And the Guardians has been incredible. Those, like, I got through the 2 issues and they're really good, and the art in them is great. I still haven't read the Cosmic Ghost Rider, and I need to get to those because I still haven't started the Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys the Marvel Universe yet, and I want to get to those. But definitely some interesting things going on in that Guardians of the Galaxy. Great book. Did I get Dark Vader visions? No. That Star Wars one I just got because my daughter asked. I hadn't been reading any of the Star Wars series, but I might pick something up, you know, if they're into that, if they like that, and maybe continue with something like that, because I am probably going to slow down on some of my other books because, like I said, I've got a few bi-monthly mags already, and that gets, I mean, by the time you get 3 of them, that's a guaranteed every other week. So, you know, on some weeks you're getting at least 2 issues of those together at the same time, and then along with other issues coming out, I mean, it gets to be a lot, and it gets to be a little overwhelming, and I need to cut back on that. My comic collection is getting quite big pretty fast, and so I may wait on trades on some of the issues. But I've heard that, is that the new Darth Vader? Is that the new one? Because I've heard a lot of people talking about that new Darth Vader issue. Hey, second, are you really gonna do those toy videos? The toy reviews? No. You know what? The toy reviews, if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I've kind of done them, but I've got to do them in a way that is something that I would do, because there's certainly a way that I'm gonna do them if I do them, because like I said, the toy leaks, there's other channels out there to do that. That's not what I'm here for. Like I said a minute ago, there's so many other channels out there that you can go to for that. And if you want the same old theory, you know, you can go out there and find the same old theory on all the other channels as well. You know, the same, you know, from the Reddit plot leaks to, you know, the theories from all the trailers and TV spots we've been getting. Okay, like there's some things I actually nailed on, and I'm not sure. I just did one of my videos just here last week that I posted from like the first Trailer Park Live I ever did, and I did this. I think it was a 6-minute clip. I meant for it to be shorter, but in my program, I don't know. I think I messed it up. But it ended up being 6 minutes. But it's like the last minute or so of that video, I was talking about how I thought the Captain Marvel movie was gonna be, like, through the scenes where she meets Nick Fury on through the bar scene. And like before the movie ever came out, just from the trailers, I nailed it. Like I had like my theory on how that all went down. Like I mean I basically told you that whole little section of the movie right there from after she hit the blockbuster. It was pretty crazy. I was just rewatching that. But what I did there is I cut up some old footage and I put it in, I called it Trailer Park Rewind. And the Trailer Park Rewinds, I got a playlist. I'm probably going to go back through some of my older videos and just put some of those in there. And then here, after I'm done with the Trailer Park Live, I'm going to try to see if I can keep up to date with it. And I'm going to cut them up into smaller ones and just have it just like Trailer Park Live, you know, or like, I don't know, call it like recap or something instead of the rewind, because the rewinds are going to be the old ones. So I know there's probably going to be some confusion there. But now, as with the toy leaks, yes, I am probably going to do something. I am probably going to do those, but in my own certain way. Because if you want to get somebody that's talking about them seriously, you got to go to another channel because, like I said, I think those toy leaks are funny, and drawing conclusions off of them are funny. And I'm not saying that any of them are fake. I just think it's funny. That's all. So I will find my own way to do them, and in case you've seen a couple of the segments I've done called the Trailer Park News, I will probably do them something like that in just a funny fashion, because I did that in, like, I think my first Trailer Park News. I did that with a little funny story about Don Cheadle and Leslie Jones, and coincidentally that same weekend Don Cheadle was hosting Saturday Night Live, which was hilarious. And I covered a little bit of toy leaks because there was one throughout the week that really cracked me up. And so I would do something like that in like a really funny way, and not in your way where I'm going to take something like that very seriously, because I just don't take it seriously for me doing it myself. I take it seriously, somebody else can, make that video. Like I said, there's plenty of other people to make that video, man. And but I am, and I was thinking on like the Reddit leaks and everything. I actually have a really funny way, because I was thinking about maybe doing some of those just as a complete joke. And those of you who are watching this right now are probably the only ones who will know it's a complete joke. And as a matter of fact, while you guys are here, could you do me a favor and go back over some of my videos the past week? You should give some of them likes or dislikes, because you'll see a lot of them have a disproportionate amount of dislikes. It's pretty funny. We got somebody out there. We got one of your eyes out there, trolls. I don't know where I picked you up at, but it's all cool, man. You're welcome here. Because you know what? Dislikes feed the algorithm as well. So you're only helping me out, pal. So dislike away. But you know what? If you really do truly dislike it, please at least tell me why. And believe me, I don't care if you're mean about it in the comments to me. But be mean to me, and don't be mean to the people that are here on my page. That's fine. I can deal with it. But, be nice to the people that are down there in the comment section that are my subscribers and viewers here on the channel. Like I said, you can, you have your way with me. That's all fine and dandy. I'm cool with that. But yeah, so I do have a way that I want to go and do some of these toy leaks and some of these Reddit leaks, and when I can actually, and I'm not going to do them very often unless there's like a really good one or something. And plus, Avengers Endgame is going to be here soon enough anyway, and that's going to take care of a lot of rumors and everything until Spider-Man Far From Home. But after that, it's going to be a while. Then after that, it's going to be a lot of speculation for quite a while, because we probably won't really know anything else about what's going on in the MCU until probably after, probably like Comic-Con or so, I would guess, when they're going to have, Kevin Feige's going to have a big panel there. Though I don't know that they're going to announce quite the list, and I think they've probably talked about this as well. I don't think they're going to put quite the list of movies out there quite in advance like they have in the past. Obviously because we got the Fox-Disney merger, and because without us knowing what's really coming up, that really helps us they help us promote their movies. You know what I mean? Like when we go into theories and all that stuff. So, and I think that's one big thing they did right with Avengers Endgame anyway, is they're leaving us all in mystery. And you know what? This was the kind of movie we didn't really need a trailer for anyway, because the way that movie ended, it doesn't matter if you watched any of the movies previous. My mom never really watched any of these movies. I took her with us to watch Avengers Endgame. We went and watched that stuff in 3D. Man, it blew her mind. She walked out. She was like, oh my God. She's like, I gotta go back and watch all these movies. And I'm sitting like, Mom, that's like 20 some movies, okay? That's like 20 movies. So, and she didn't care. So, the way that movie ended, it sold this next movie pretty much. If you watch that movie, it sold this movie, and that's just a pure fact. So they didn't really need to market it this way. And ever since that movie ended, everybody's been pushing Avengers Endgame for them, and we didn't even know the name of it was Endgame before that. Everyone started pushing the movie for them before they even had footage for the for the trailers or anything. So, They certainly did market this movie a different way, and really, what they're doing is perfect because it builds that anticipation. Now, when it comes to other things like Captain Marvel just had her movie release, and other maybe newer properties, they're probably definitely going to have to build more hype around those single character movies like that, or even just like Guardians of the Galaxy. But like these big ones, like a next Avengers after this, say they do one, whenever down the line it is, they're gonna have other stuff built up to it to where it's another thing. Like, oh, there's all these things going on, nobody knows what's going on. So, I mean, automatically there's gonna be another tidal wave of this stuff. Even though we're gonna have enough speculation with all these single movies anyway, just guessing what's going into them, because there's already lots of speculation with movies we don't even know about already. Now, let's get to the next one. Stick in your own lane, you'll thrive better. Some of these other channels are bogus, and that's true. I mean, I don't think the other channels are bogus. They're not bogus. They're just I think a lot of those channels cover content and do it because they get a lot of viewers who are watching it. For people who are really into these movies and really for people who are as nerdy as me and probably you if you're here on my channel, they're covering stuff for the average viewer, for just the average viewer, somebody else who's not out there actually actively seeking information. Other people who haven't watched these movies 100 times each and dig for all the little Easter eggs in all of them. Believe me when I say I watch all these movies on a regular basis. But there's that viral post going around right now about getting paid $1,000 to watch all the MCU movies. I'm like, okay, yeah, like that's great. Who are they gonna pick? Are they gonna pick me? Who are they gonna pick? Well, like that would be pretty cool. I mean, I'm already watching them anyway, but you know what? I mean, whatever. I didn't apply for it or anything. I don't think I have a social media following quite like that. Maybe on my personal Facebook, but I mean, still, that's really only gonna get you like 100 or so people seeing it. Yeah, but it's all good. But yeah, like I said, I'll stick to my lane because I don't want to do like the stuff when I do their kind of content. You'll see when I do that stuff, it's gonna be in a totally different style, and if I can get done what I want to get done, I think it's going to be great. I think people will like it and people will laugh, and I hope you all tune in and check some of those out. So, okay, let's get down. What else is there? What Instagram post are you talking about? Okay, there was an Instagram post. Well, the Instagram post was the Avengers Endgame trailer that released on Instagram. I think it was like a 30-minute spot where the aspect ratio of it was like square and it was larger. You could see further down the frame. Then I did a video on it. It got a lot of love. Go check it out. And but I debunked this theory that everyone was running with, just because some guy on Twitter made a post about that Instagram trailer, because in the video you can see Scott Lang with a handle in his hand and he turns around and he's walking down the street. Well, the handle in his hand is to a wagon, and you can see in that same frame that there's a wagon with stuff on it right behind him. It's got like his stuff on there. And he's walking down the street and he's got a wagon. And I actually seen somebody somewhere posted a picture that actually showed pictures of him walking with a wagon. And whether that's a real photo or not, I mean, come on, are we going to assume that everything's not real now? Is that where we're at? I mean, there's a lady in the background and there's some little red flags next to her, and that almost makes me wonder if that's going to be like a CGI kind of thing, where they're going to maybe take people out. I don't know. Who knows? But like I said, I thought it was funny, but everybody and their mommy started running with this story, like, oh my god, he's carrying Hank Pym's lab. He's walking with Hank Pym's lab down the street. No, he's not, man. Look, I mean, you can see at the bottom of the corner. I mean, he's got a wagon with stuff on it. What stuff is on there, you can't really see. Maybe Pym's lab is in the wagon, but he's clearly pulling a wagon because it's a wagon. Anyway. But that's what it was, and it was just like, I think there was like one person on Instagram that made this tweet and was like, oh my god, and of course everybody, so he's like, oh god, oh my god, and it blows up the internet, or it wrecks the internet, or it does, I don't know, Ralph, is that Ralph, or it's one of those people. Somebody breaks the internet, somebody wrecks it. Somebody always does, right? Whether it's James Gunn or Ralph. But yeah, so that's what it was. It was that Instagram trailer, and now we've got a bunch of TV spots, and I think it's kind of funny that they all these TV spots and everything we're getting. It's funny just because like a week ago, like right after Captain Marvel came out, everybody everybody had their theory videos based off the Captain Marvel movie, the reviews and everything like that, and then right after that, it's kind of okay, the ink well went dry, so then they're like, okay, well, the Avengers Endgame trailer date is confirmed to be, sometime at the beginning of April, probably around the April 2nd, and is when we'll get the next trailer. And then, like, man, it was like days later they dropped the second trailer, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect. And I actually guessed that it was going to be this week. That was my prediction. But and obviously I was wrong too, because originally what was supposed to happen was the Spider-Man Far From Home Prelude comic was supposed to release this week, but it's releasing next week now. And I was thinking maybe it's going to, and plus that Empire article as well. So I was thinking it all seems to add up that they're all dropping this same week, so why wouldn't the trailer? Well, I guess we were all wrong there. But like I said, everybody was guessing late April, and then here we are, like a trailer and 2 TV spots later, and we're all sitting here like, ooh, well, all right. But see that, and that's the thing. But it's all speculation. But like I said, you can't really say anything's confirmed. You just kind of, I don't know. It's confirmed. Like there's all these other things that have been confirmed by these articles, and that's the other thing. People are. I've seen a lot of videos, and it's funny. I didn't see any after the issue came out, but of that Empire magazine spread on Avengers Endgame came out, and like before the issue even came out, everybody was running with the stories and had the stories about what was in the story based off of somebody else's post that was just talking about the stories. None of them had actually read the magazine for themselves, and they all had videos. It seems odd, right? Like I said, the best thing to do is always chase down the source. Go to the source. If all the people making the videos, if they don't have the magazine, I mean, where are they getting it from? They're getting it from, I think there was a website out there that had a hold of it, and it was probably a website that I think did actually know about it, but they didn't say word for word what was in the article. They just basically said, oh, hey, the article kind of, there's a couple, just dropped a couple quotes, and that was about it. So, everybody runs with it. It's just, come on, man. Come on. Even after the article after the magazine came out, nobody did videos on it. So just so funny. Okay, there you go. Suppose the phony channels, witch hunt. Nah, it's not like that. Like I said, they're not phony channels. They like I said, they've got. I think they just make content for your average viewer. Where what I do is I'm a freaking geek. And if you're a freaking geek and you're in, if you watch the movies as many times as I have and you really pay attention to all the stuff that I do, and, it just starts to drive you bonkers when you see some of these things. You're like, oh, no. But now with Avengers Endgame, the thing is none of us really do know, because like I said, they've done an excellent job of keeping us all in the dark. Okay, Daniel Aguilar, welcome to the show. How are you doing this evening, sir? Welcome. Daniel says, is the Scarlet Witch the same as Captain Marvel? She seems to have the power of the Reality Stone. Is Scarlet Witch the same as Captain Marvel? No, not at all. The Scarlet Witch, she's not a mutant right now, because they can't say that. Well, they can at this point now, I guess. But rather, who knows what they're going to do with all that stuff? That's a totally different conversation. But no, she's not the same. She's not the same as Captain Marvel. Totally different. She seems to have the power of the Reality Stone. Scarlet Witch does? Well, I mean, Scarlet Witch got her powers unlocked from the Mind Stone, and in Avengers Age of Ultron. Well, actually, it would have been before that, but leading into that. So, I mean, that's where she got her powers from. And Captain Marvel got her powers from the Tesseract. And it wasn't even actually the Tesseract. It was actually just the power from the Tesseract that they had harnessed. So, I mean, she basically got her powers from the same element like Tony had recreated, that Dr. Zola created back in 1943. So, that's what Carol Danvers got her powers from. And the thing is here's another thing. I'm not sure if you guys have watched all my videos on the Captain Marvel thing, but here's the thing on the Captain Marvel is there's this thing in the movie. If you go watch the movie, at the very beginning of the movie, when she's having these dreams, you see her waking up and she has the blue blood on her hands. And things just totally happen different. And then later, when they go to her, when she remembers the past, and they show the footage in the film, and this is total spoilers here, in case anybody hasn't seen it. They go and they show they show her actual memories, what actually happened there at the scene, and she had red blood, and she went to the doctor, and the doctor had blue blood, and they showed this. Okay, and then everything happens. The doctor gets shot, and then she ends up shooting the light speed engine. It explodes, and that's how she gets the powers. Now the thing is in what happened in that shot, it was red blood. She had red blood, but in her memory at the very beginning of the movie, it was blue blood. So what is this? Was this the Kree messing with her mind, or is this something that is it a plot hole? I don't think it's a plot hole. See, something that obvious, they wouldn't put something in there that obvious. But I don't think a lot of people have talked about it. I haven't seen anybody talking about it. Just like in the memory scene where she gets caught by the Kree or by the Skrulls, and she's in the ship and they have her in the machine and they're rewinding through her memories. They show her in the fighter jet and they're trying to get her to look at the coordinates, right? Well, she's sitting there and she pulls the ejection seat to eject out of the aircraft, and the top blows off and she shoots out. But then they rewind it, and they keep bringing it back, and it shows that a couple of times. But then later, when we actually see her memories of what happened, the ejection seat didn't work, the top didn't blow off, they crashed, and so on and so forth. Are these plot holes as well? They could be. They easily could be, but I choose to think not. I mean, maybe it's just me. I mean, maybe seeing it 3 times, I didn't pick enough stuff out of it. Now, one thing I do want to tell you guys is one of the guests on our channel today. Oh, CJ, welcome, sir. Welcome to Trailer Park Live. Thank you for tuning in. Now, there is a channel you guys should go check out, and I'll make sure I update the description here a little bit later. There's a channel here, a new channel on YouTube, some friends of mine, called Those Damn Skits. You should definitely go check them out. They've got just a few videos up so far. They started not too long ago, and they've already actually got quite the following. You can go check out their channel, and I will leave a link to that in the description in this video a little later on here after the show. But again, you can go search it. It is Those Damn Skits, and go check them out. Tell them the Second Street Marvel sent you, or you can tell them Trinity sent you. Either way. And if you don't know, that's my name, Trinity. I've said that in several videos, but just in case you all didn't know. Now, so many carbon copy channels out there, I swear. Well, Anyway. No, like I said, it's not that bad. Well, I mean, there's a lot. The thing is, there's a lot of the channels covering the same stuff. And the thing is I subscribe to a lot of them. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I've never said anything like that. I subscribe to I've got like a handful of them that I subscribe to. But then there's some that I'm like, yeah, okay, never mind. I watch all of them every single time they put up a new video. Dang it. But that's the thing, I watch those channels too. So, and like I said, I'll cover stuff like that, but I'm going to do it a different way. And like I said, I'm going to stick to my lane, and I'm going to do stuff a little bit more creative, because that's something I'm going to go back on one of my rewinds. I'm going to go post this video a little bit later on. You could go check out the beginning of one of my videos. Gosh, what was it? I think it was after the Avengers Endgame trailer came out. It was my theory video there, and I think it's like a 20-minute long video. And on there, at the very beginning, I did this little funny kind of intro to it that was like that. I tried to make it like the Tony Stark thing on, in that first Avengers Endgame trailer. So it was just something kind of funny. And that's kind of the stuff I'm thinking about doing with some of these other videos going forward. So they may take a little more time to do and all that stuff. So, and because I'm just a man in a can here, man. It's just me here by myself. Occasionally, I have had a friend come on, and we've done a couple of movie reviews. And I will have that same friend on, Richard, to do a music review with me very soon. We are going to be reviewing Faith No More's "King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime." If you haven't ever heard this album, it is definitely something you need to check out. Excellent stuff. Faith No More is a band that is ahead of their time. Even if they started dropping their albums today, I still say they're ahead of their time. They are that great of a band, and there is definitely a reason why you should be listening to this album. They came out in 1995. Even to this day, it's worth getting. I mean, well, people don't really buy music anymore because you just got like your Amazon Unlimited and all those things. It's just definitely an album you should get on and check out. Excellent album. And their other album you should definitely check out is Angel Dust. Okay, listen to those two albums. They are arguably their two best albums that they've got. Okay, hands down. and that's why I say arguably, because between those two albums, a lot of people will argue about which one is better or which one is worse. So definitely worth checking out. I'm good. About to go into work. Oof, man, that's a 4-letter word. Ouch. Well, be careful while you're out there at work, Daniel. There's a lot of people, crazy drivers out there on the road, so be careful. Believe me, I just got in a collision the other week. Somebody slammed into me while I was in my business vehicle. So I was out there working, and now I'm out of business vehicle, and I'm pretty sure that it's in pretty bad shape. So now I'm just waiting for insurance to come through and take care and do all the stuff they do. So it's been a pretty rough week for me. So yeah, it's been rough and stressful, but we're getting through it. And I'm feeling a lot better than I was. And I'm not sure if you've seen a couple of my videos that I did earlier this week. You've probably seen a little bit of angst and animosity coming out in them. And that's kind of how it was making me feel. I felt just irritated. I just haven't felt myself because the added stress and everything in my life due to this collision. I'm sure any of you if you've ever been in a car collision or just anything like that, last year I had a broken collarbone, a fractured scapula, and a few fractured ribs. I'm a cyclist, so I was out bike riding and I crashed while I was out bike riding. I'm a roadie, and I was coming down this mountain. There was a bunch of sand on the road. It was really windy, and my front wheel washed out from underneath me. Snapped my collarbone. It was terrible. You could see the bone kind of poking. It wasn't poking through the skin, but you could see it poking. It was pretty gross. It was pretty gross. And that hurt. So I ended up, walking down the mountain, waiting for my wife. My friend rode on and went and called my wife, and it was pretty rough. But anything like that, added stress in your life is always a rough thing. And then, at the same time, just the added stress, what it does to us mentally, it's mentally draining having extra stress in your life. And to, anybody who's, if there's anybody out there going through anything in your life, I certainly feel for you. And, hey, if you got anything going on, you need, some good vibes, let us know down in the comments, man. We hope you're all doing well. Like I said, I've been trying to exercise all these demons out of my head too, man. Because like I said, I haven't been myself all this week, and I don't like that feeling. So, like I said, there was some of my videos I did earlier this week where I definitely had some angst and animosity in there. But that's kind of how I am too. Because when I see some of these stories and I see some of this stuff, and I want to call it out, that's how I am. I feel passionate about it, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say, hey, dude, no. That's not how it goes. That's not how it is, and that's not how we roll here on 2nd Street, okay? That's just not how we roll. So we cut through all that. And yeah, so let's see. I've got a few more comments before we get into some of the other things I want to talk about. Okay, my presence was requested. Oh, yeah, it was. You should be here every week. We start every single Friday at 8 p.m. And you should invite your friends too, whether they're nerds or not, or if they want to come in here and bust my chops here while we're going live. Hey, it's all good. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. Let's see. I'm drunk. Drunk already? Man, it's only 8:46. How are you drunk already? Oh man, this dude, he's sniffing beer. He's like, oh man, dude, that's water. Oh, is it? Okay, quit it. Okay, quit it. Just tell us where the hell the Guardians of the Galaxy got the Benatar. I don't know where the Guardians of the Galaxy got the Benatar, but you know what? I'm willing to bet, because James Gunn is the one who actually said that in the Infinity War, the Benatar was going to be the ship that they were flying. Now, I can't remember if he said where they got it or not, though. And you know what? I'll look into that. And see what I can find out, because now you got me curious about that as well. Which, okay, sounds like a Twinkle Toes album. It's not a Twinkle Toes album. And if you're drunk, you should be getting ready to listen to that as soon as this show is over. So, yeah, we've got some things to talk about here tonight. Several different things. I'm not sure if you guys seen that. I even did a little bit of talked about it a little on my comic book pull list that I did earlier this week. But we got the teaser trailer. This was a teaser trailer. It was 2.5 minutes long for the upcoming Quentin Tarantino film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are Quentin Tarantino fans at all, but I can tell you one thing is I've been a huge Quentin Tarantino fan since I was a teenager. We went theater hopping into and went and seen Pulp Fiction. I can't remember what movie we were at. It was I kept thinking it was like Crimson Tide or something, but that was like a totally different year. And but who knows in the small town I grew up in. But we went to see, and you know what, it could have been later because we might have got Pulp Fiction later than anybody else did too. But we theater hopped to go see Pulp Fiction, and I was 15 years old, I think, at the time. Yeah, I was 15. I'm pretty sure I was 15. I might have been 14, but I went and seen Pulp Fiction, and dude, that movie, it blew my mind, man. Like, that's a great movie. And my music isn't too loud, is it? If the music is too loud on here, would you please let me know down in the comment section if that music is too loud? I can turn it up or down a little bit. I mean, if you want me to turn it up all the way so you don't have to hear me and you can just see my ugly face and not have to hear me, hey, let me know. It's all good. But yeah, so we got the trailer for that new Quentin Tarantino movie, and I don't know about you guys, but I thought that trailer was pretty good. Now, it was good, but it wasn't blow my mind good, you know, like, but it's not like it's Avengers Endgame, so it's not like it has to be that. But I thought it was really good. Like the kind of intro was pretty cool, where you see Leonardo DiCaprio's character being interviewed, and I didn't really look in to see who all the people were in the movie who's playing who. Like I said, I don't really look into IMDb and all that stuff really all that often. I did look on there initially and seen who all was in the movie, but you know, I just kind of store it up here, and if I didn't store it, I didn't remember their character names in the movie. The movie's not out yet. It's kind of irrelevant right now, as far as I'm concerned. I just know the actors that are in it, and I'll learn more about it in time, you know, as time goes on, because I just got a lot going on right now. So yeah, this trailer dropped. It's Quentin Tarantino's 9th movie, and I honestly can't wait to see this movie. They're obviously it's golden age Hollywood back in the 60s. A lot of stuff going on, you know. Obviously talking about like Sharon Tate, Charles Manson. Like I said, I can't remember Leonardo DiCaprio's character. Luke Perry's in the movie. I can't remember who all these people are playing, but the movie does look good nonetheless, and you can always tell a Quentin Tarantino movie when you see it, and it's really weird. They always have a certain look, and they've got a certain, obviously the way he writes his scripts and everything. It's all, you can tell it's definitely a Quentin Tarantino flick, and I can't wait to see it because it looks like it's kind of reminiscent of like a Reservoir Dogs kind of Pulp Fiction, kind of like that, but obviously different material. And I can't wait to see it just based on that. The trailer didn't even have to get me psyched out for that. We're gonna get more trailers as time goes on, and it's set to release on, I think, like July 26th. So can't wait for that. That's gonna be really good. Now the next thing is Netflix, and I did a video on this not too long ago on Netflix. Just did this biopic on Motley Crue called The Dirt. Now this movie is based on a book that Motley Crue did of the same name, okay? And this book was written by all the guys in the band. They all told about their times from before the band formed and kind of just how they all met. So basically, it kind of really starts out a lot with like Nikki Sixx talking about him. And I mean, it seems like he was kind of the intro of it. It's been a while since I read the book, and then they all kind of started bringing in their stories, and it was a really good book. It covers a lot of years of theirs, and they certainly talk about a lot of things in it, and there's a lot of tough subjects in it. And I certainly hope this movie is good. And from what I've heard so far, it is a good movie. Now, the thing is I don't want to have my expectations too high, but at the same time I do, because there's a lot of things that they got to cover in this movie, but I still don't think they'll be able to get to them all. And as soon as I get done here tonight, I'm probably going to go watch that anyway. So, but yeah, there's a lot in there, and I don't think they can get to it all. And that's kind of a sad thing, because there's a lot. I mean, there's so many tales in there to be told, and I can't wait to see it. You guys should definitely check it out. It just released on Netflix tonight, and I don't know, I think I only seen one trailer release, but it looks really good. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Motley Crue ever since I was a kid. My uncle turned me on to him. I mean, God, man, I was real little, so I've loved them since then. And that would have been around Shout at the Devil days, God, what would that have been? 84? 84, because I think Too Fast for Love was like 82 or 81. So yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. So if you guys should definitely check that out, and go back, and if I haven't convinced you yet, go back and check out my video I did on that. It's called Why You Should Watch the Dirt. Go back and check that out. You might see a 40-year-old man crying in there. I'm just kidding. I didn't cry, did I? Anyway. Okay, now the next thing I want to get into before we get into too much other stuff was, you know, there's so much other stuff, you know, like DVDs and everything. I love CDs. You can see I got my CD right here. I've got, ooh, look at this. I got this that just came in. I'll probably be doing a giveaway for the digital copy of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soon. But I just got this in, and you know, physical media is getting ready to die. It's on the verge of dying, man, and that's just like a sad thing, because I love my DVDs, I love my CDs, and you know, everything's going streaming now. It seems like everything is going streaming, and you know, a big thing is Netflix has been investing a lot of money into their own movies, having their own studio, their own, like, you know, films produced for their platform. And they make a lot of money, they spend a lot of money doing this, and they don't make a whole lot of money back. And then they also spend a lot of money on content, on basically like syndicated content, like Friends and things like that. And so, you know, I mean, that's, you notice their price has been going up and up over the years, and that's, you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing. They have a lot of content on there. They've got a lot of stuff on there that you can watch. So they put a variety out there. They don't have everything on there, but they got a good mix. And so, you know, there's been all these things. Obviously, we got Disney getting ready to come up with the Disney Plus. Is it Disney Plus, something like that? Getting ready to come up. So they're getting ready to have another streaming service out there, and it's like, oh man, it's just getting to be more and more, you know, and you know, it's just something we got to get used to. And pretty soon, have all these digital services, pretty soon I'm going to be paying just as much as when I had DirecTV, and that's absolutely ridiculous. And at the same time, it's also convenience, because I can watch it on my phone, I can watch it on my computer, I can, you know, you can probably watch it on your watch if you got one of those little fancy watches, you know what I mean? Pretty soon you can watch it just on your eyes, man. But anyway, all these people are going to streaming service. Well, on March 25th, getting ready to come up here in the next few days, Apple is actually getting ready to have a big meeting in their headquarters, and they are getting ready in Cupertino, California. They are going to be meeting with a bunch of movie producers, a bunch of directors, which is funny. One of them is really funny, and I talked about this on one of my other shows too. But like J.J. Abrams, who else was it? Was it Martin Scorsese? Not Martin Scorsese. It might have been Scorsese. And then also Steven Spielberg, which is kind of funny because he's the one that was just making a stink about people in the Netflix and things like that movies being considered for Oscars. So it's kind of funny that he's going, I don't know, so he don't want his movies being nominated for Oscars too then? Or is he just trying to get into that game too because they're going to go that route? Who knows? Just kind of funny. But they're meeting with these people, like these movie producers, directors, and even different actors. You know, like you know, Chris Evans was among one of them. There was Reese Witherspoon and Brie Larson, and just like several other actors out there, and other people who are doing. And these other actors are people who do things behind the scenes. I think Jennifer Aniston was one as well. There are other people who do things behind the scenes as well. So you know, Apple's getting ready to jump into that as well. So you know, Apple's getting ready to come out with their own streaming service, and they're going to have their own original content as well. And this further only starts to put, you know, just, what would you say, a stake in the heart of the physical media, and it's just that. And the other thing was Samsung, who is like one of the leaders in the industry of the physical media, when they were like the Blu-ray players and all those things, they were like one of the leaders, and pretty much they followed suit. Well, they, like this year, they didn't even announce any new models, I guess, on Blu-ray, DVD, disc, like physical medium like devices. There was only 4 new ones introduced this year all together. So you know, it's a dying thing, and it's going away, and it's really sad, because I'm gonna miss having my actual discs and all that. So so far I do have all my MCU movies on DVD, but you know, there's a lot of arguments to be made for both. I mean, there really is. Though the thing is, the quality of a lot of the stuff streaming just isn't quite the quality of what you can have when you're watching a Blu-ray disc. So you know, it's coming to an end. It's really sad. Okay, now the next thing is, before we get into more questions and even some more Endgame stuff, recently Tom Holland, a lot of people have been talking about Tom Holland because he, I don't know, put out some Instagram post that just said, it's coming Monday or some crap like that. I don't know. I didn't even look at it. But this is the news story that everybody's talking about. And, you know, of course, Warstu even was talking like, oh, okay, you know, that doesn't mean it's a Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. You know, it's probably, you know, because he's got these other projects coming out. And exactly, you know, that's the thing. He's got other projects out there. Although, and this will lead us into some Avengers Endgame stuff here, kind of. Although Tom Holland has typically been the king of the Marvel leaks, okay? So it's kind of funny that now all of a sudden, you know, a lot of people are saying like, oh, he said this, and you know, everybody's at this point questioning Tom Holland, and it's like, okay, but like he's been the king, the lead source of all these things that, you know, all these slip-ups and all this stuff, to which I think the studio started to play along with and started to, I'm telling you, I think they started to arm some of the actors in the movies with little tidbits of information to hand out, because I'm not sure if you've seen recently, the new Rockstars just did a video where they were talking about Skrulls out there in the MCU, okay, and I actually did this same story a while back about Maria Hill being a Skrull. Now, one of the things they brought up was Nick Fury being a Skrull in this story, okay? Now, here's the thing, and man, maybe I should move on from the Tom Holland thing. Because anyway, Tom Holland was spoiling a lot of leaks. You know, he's the king of the spoilers. And now all of a sudden, everybody wants to believe the Russos when they said in an interview about fake footage being in the trailers. You know, everyone was like, oh, the Russos just confirmed that they used fake footage in the trailers. Okay, like, you all just made a whole bunch of videos calling the Russo brothers liars, trolls, they can't be trusted, and now all of a sudden you're saying that you believe them. Make up your mind, man. I mean, are they trolls? Do you believe them? Do you not believe them? What's the deal? What's going on, man? Come on, what's going on? Why be wishy-washy with me? Why are you being wishy-washy here? Okay? I mean, do you need the views that bad? I mean, I do. I do. I need the views that bad, but I'm not out there, you know, reaching for them like that. Now, the thing is, these guys are the producers, they're the studio, they're the directors, they're the actors. They're not trying to spoil the movie, and I've said this numerous times throughout this whole thing, throughout the time I started the channel. They're not out there to spoil the movie. They're out there to market the movie. You know, what was it? Sam Jackson, you know, lying about Captain Marvel being able to time travel. He was lying. He even said in an interview later that he was lying. You know, that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of these times these people are given things to just say or release, like, oh yeah, just say this, like, or yeah, or say specifically this, because like I said, the new Rockstars did the video about the Skrulls and about Nick Fury being a Skrull, and then they went into Maria Hill and gave you evidence of why she would be a Skrull. And they were talking about there at the very end of Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, in that bonus credit scene, she calls him Nick 3 times right there in that little small window of seconds in the movie. And she calls him Nick, and he specifically says in the Captain Marvel movie, Fury. Everybody calls me Fury. And she was actually talking to him. Now, if she was talking to somebody else, like maybe if she was talking to another character, maybe. But so they brought up this argument for that, and I was like, that is a pretty good theory on why Maria Hill would be a Skrull. But I actually had a different theory that I posed in a video that I did. And now that theory, while I didn't base it off of her saying Nick in the movie like that, I just had some things that I drew it off of an interview that she did. And I think that she actually went out there and released that information that she was a Skrull, because Jimmy Fallon was, and you can go back and watch the video that I did on that. It actually got blocked worldwide because I think I used too long of a clip. So then I went back and I had all the footage still, and I just re-clipped it down and got it to where I didn't get a content strike on it. And she says in this interview, Jimmy Fallon's pressing her for information, and he goes, oh, he's like, I seen you disappear, and she goes, you did? Because he said he seen her dust away, and she said, you did? And I'm just like, And also throughout the whole interview, she's sitting there just being kind of playful, and it was like, okay, like this all seems like it seems all purposeful, and I don't know, that's just kind of what I thought. And so yeah, and I called that one a while back, and the new rock stars only helped solidify my theory that that's what was going on. So yeah, the let's see now, what else? Okay, what other topics was there? Before I get to some more questions, what else was there? Obviously, okay, yes, we did get a lot of Avengers Endgame trailers and TV spots. Now we've got a lot more to go through, and I haven't even done all my breakdown on the original trailer that we got. And honestly, these new ones that we got, they haven't really revealed a whole lot of different stuff in them. But I am going to go through and break those down, because there are still a few things that people aren't picking out in these trailers that I want to present to you all. And there are obviously a couple of things in there people actually are starting to question now, and that's Tony Stark actually being real in there when they're walking through with the quantum realm suits. Tony Stark being real in there, and I thought the same thing when I first saw the trailer. I'm like, you see Tony Stark, but it doesn't look that it doesn't look like Tony Stark, and it looked a little fishy. It looked a little suspicious. So, and a lot of people are starting to call that out, and I think that's definitely something, and obviously they chopped that up to make us all wonder how it all looks and everything anyway. So there was that. Now, the other thing that I seen a few people talking about this week was, it says, Marvel confirms, there was some people saying that Marvel confirmed that the suits were quantum realm suits, that you could go to marvel.com, and there is an article on there where they confirm that they are quantum realm suits. Now, I do have to shoot this down, because marvel.com did not confirm that those are quantum realm suits. This article was just written by a guy who works for marvel.com writing stories. Now, you'll see on the they got a YouTube channel, and they cover a lot of things. They got like the week in Marvel, and they cover all the just like different things on their channel. And they post a lot of this on their site, on their website, and there's people on there writing like little articles for their site. Now, these people aren't people that were involved in the movie. The studio and all those people didn't come in and give these people inside information. These people are fans of the movies, and they cover these stories just the same as we do. This is just Marvel's outlet for it. They're not like, and when they have anything official information of their, they would let you know that. But this is, you could clearly read the article and tell it's just a guy who saw the trailer and wrote an article about the trailer, about what we got out of the trailer. And like I said, it didn't confirm the quantum realm suits. He just called it the quantum realm suits. And, so like I said, you got to go to the source and read it, and you can clearly see that this article was written just by a guy who's working at Marvel.com writing an article. Just same as if, you go to like comicbook.com, and, they got a guy there who's writing articles about their stuff, And like I said, I'm not saying it's not a legit article. It's on Marvel.com. That's what I'm saying. You got to go there. To take it out, it's taken out of context. It wasn't confirmed by Marvel.com that those are quantum realm suits, in fact. Now, the next thing, let's see, was there? Oh, the other thing, and I think I already talked about that, the Scott Lang theory with the luggage case. It wasn't a luggage case. It was a wagon. It's got his effects in there, and you can see that in that same trailer. I did a video on that, and you guys should go check out that video. Let's see, what else is there? I already talked about the Russo brothers and the fake trailers. If you're being a scroll. Oh, this is the new one. Everybody's talking about Nova being teased, and Deadpool going to be in Avengers Endgame, or even Spider-Man Far From Home. It'd probably make more sense with Spider-Man Far From Home, but let's not forget that this is also, like, while it is an MCU movie, it is still, like, also overseen and produced with Sony, so, I suppose they probably wouldn't be opposed to that, but I don't know, it just seems a little more unlikely. But then everybody's talking about them being in Avengers Endgame. Now, Deadpool, I really don't think they're going to squeeze him in Avengers Endgame just like all of a sudden, just like at the end. Unless it was like like a very end credits trailer scene where he comes in and they just slap something together just like really quick. Because, you know, we can see they've done that plenty with all the Deadpool marketing. They did do a lot of that. So could we possibly see it? I mean, yeah, there's a slight chance. There's a slight chance that we could get some of that out of Deadpool. But do I think it's going to happen? I honestly don't. I think the likelihood of that would be more something like Spider-Man Far From Home. But I honestly don't. I don't know that it's going to happen there. It just doesn't seem like it would. Now about Nova being in the movie. Now, I think this is possible. I think it's possible. I don't know about him being in the movie, maybe teased in the movie. And the thing is because we don't know that Nova's dead, and we don't know that Nova exists. So is there a possibility of that being teased or something? There certainly is, even with what happened to Xandar. Now, the thing I started realizing was this weekend, a lot of people talking about, you know, it seems like a lot of people, when we talk about Xandar, we act like Xandar is destroyed and it is no more. Okay, and I don't think that's the fact. I don't think that's the truth, because we see in Avengers Infinity War, Thor specifically says about the Power Stone. He said, was it the Power Stone? Yeah, it was the Power Stone that was there on Xandar. He specifically says that he went to Xandar and stole it after when he decimated Xandar. Now let's think. Okay, now this was something else that somebody else had pointed out. Decimation technically means 10%, but in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're calling the snap. They're calling it the decimation. And basically, what happens when you do the snap, the decimation event, was eliminating 50% of the population. Right now, I think they're saying that's what he did, because that's what Thanos did in the first place, was he went and decimated civilizations. He went and he slaughtered 50% of all the planets. That's what he was doing. That's what he done to Gamora's planet, as we seen in the movie. So that's what they did. You know, you seen him say, okay, you all, you know, Ebony Maw was there. You know, everybody choose a side. You know, and that's how it went down. They killed 50% of them all there. They decimated them. They killed half of them. They decimated him. So he went to Xandar and decimated them. He eliminated half of them. So Xandar is still there. Okay, he didn't say they blew up the planet or anything like that. But it's so funny and I've never really talked about this, and I haven't really heard anybody talk about this neither. But we all act like Xandar is destroyed and gone, and there are no more Xandarians. Now, however, let's think that if he went there and decimated them, and then he eliminated 50% of them, let's also think that after that there is going. And he's going to decimate even 50% more of them with the snap. So they're down to 25% on Xandar. So Xandar is hurting. Okay, so Xandar basically is no more. They're basically no more at 25% population. That is, woo. That's pretty outrageous. A decimation like that is a lot. That's certainly a lot. So, yeah, like I said, I just thought it was kind of odd. It seems like we all talk about Xandar like Xandar is like it is no more. But then a lot of those planets where Thanos actually went and decimated, they would be down to that same amount, depending on how long it had been since he went and decimated them. People having kids and things like that. That would be a constant, you know what I mean? But, you know, something interesting came up on a show I watch, the John Campea show. Some, you know, they get a lot of emails and questions in there. And somebody wrote in with an interesting question, and I wanted to talk about that. And that's where I saw this question. It was on the John Campea show. But they brought up this question about when Thanos snapped and eliminated 50% of the people, would that cause miscarriages? Would that eliminate babies? You know, like, that people are currently born with. And I was like, oof, man, that's morbid. You know, that's morbid to think about. But it's pretty morbid to think about killing 50% of the population in the first place. And now the other thing is I started to think about, I mean, even after that, I started to think about animals and everything. Because I don't know necessarily that when he snapped and decimated everybody that would include like the animals, because we've like everybody's kind of speculated, does that include like plants and wildlife and things like that? I don't think it does. I think it just counts human beings or like, you know, like intelligent life forms, and if not like animals are intelligent, but like people like like human beings who are the ones who aren't part of, I guess you would say, the natural life cycle of things. Are 'cause we're different. I mean, we're, I guess, the evolved ones, I guess, but these days you wouldn't know it. And honestly, I wouldn't know. I don't watch. I haven't been on a lot of social media lately. So that's all we really have for the subjects today. Make sure you guys watch Netflix, or get on Netflix and watch The Dirt. Now let's get into more of the questions. It's been a while since I've got into those. Okay, now where were we at here? Quit it. Sounds like a twinkle toes out. My brother bought us a couple of pictures. We downed them. Oh, your brother's in town? Or did your brother move? I thought your brother moved. I don't know. But you bought a couple pictures. Where are you hanging out at? I'm about to. Okay. Because I thought they had it at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but no. At the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they didn't have the Benatar. That was after the Milano had gotten destroyed, and I can't remember who gave him that ship. I'm wondering if maybe. What was James Gunn's brother's name in the movie? Ah, man. I can't. Kraglin. I think they got it from Kraglin. I think they got the shit from Kraglin, possibly. If I'm remembering right, I think they got it from Kraglin. I think that's where they got the Benatar from. Is Kraglin, and I could be wrong there. I could certainly be wrong there. I'm about to watch The Dirt. Enjoy, my friend. I'm about to do the same thing as soon as we're done here tonight. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to watch The Dirt. Okay, Netflix is dead. Netflix is dead. No, man, they're not. I was actually thinking about canceling my subscription, but I was like, man, they keep raising the price of it, and sometimes they grandfather you into things, and I don't know. There's so many streaming services, man. When the Disney one comes out, I'll definitely be subscribing to that. That's for sure. My dad is there in Cupertino right now doing the security for the Apple event. It's happening now. Is it happening right now? It's the 22nd. I don't know. It could have happened on the 22nd. It could be going on all weekend. From what I know, it was supposed to be going on for the on the 25th. On the 25th, and I could be remembering that date wrong. But yeah, it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. Tell him to get Chris Hemsworth, or not Chris Hemsworth, but Chris Evans' autograph for me. Just an autograph, That'd be cool. Maybe even a picture. Get a snapshot. Even if it's got your dad in it, that's cool. I don't mind if it's got your dad in it, as long as it's be like, hey, I got this picture of Chris Evans. Well, I mean, it's not me in the picture, but hey, kind of like I've got this really great picture. I've got this really great picture of Mike Patton. We met Mike Patton one time, and I've got this really great picture that I took of my friend with Mike Patton. And he didn't let me get a picture with Mike Patton. I'm never gonna forget that. And I'm not going to. Not letting it go. We're never going to forget that one. You know what I'm talking about. You're out there. You're out there. You're watching. Okay. CJ's dad is there now. Yeah. CJ's dad is there now. I'm calling it now. They'll offer an Infinity. I'm calling it now. They'll offer an Infinity Saga Omnibus DVD collection with 22 to 23 movies. However many take us to Endgame. Yeah, probably so. Like a big old box set. Man, that'd be cool, man. I know the first two phases, they had these really cool box sets. I wanted to get them. They were pretty expensive, especially if you try to go buy them now. But there were some really cool box sets, and they only had really the same DVDs I got. And then they had a bunch of cool little extras with them. Like one of them, it was like a case, like the case that Nick Fury had the Fury had the Tesseract in, and I think it even had a little Tesseract in there that would light up, and it had all the movies in there and some little files and everything on the Avengers, and it was a really cool box set. And then the one for Phase 2, it had a little glowy thing and it looked like the Power Stone, like the orb that had the Power Stone in it, and then it had all the little bonus material and everything in it too. That would have been pretty cool to have. And then they're gonna have one for Phase 3, and that would be pretty cool to have too. And I wish I could afford all those, because they're going for quite a lot. And I know they didn't cost that much originally when they came out. I heard CJ says, I heard Disney is going to take the Marvel movies from Netflix and move them to the Disney streaming service. I ain't paying Disney a dime after what they did to the Star Wars franchise. Okay, okay. There's a lot to go through there. I'm still gonna give them my money. You know what? They messed up on one movie, really, in my eyes. That's it. And the thing is like, I like the movie. It's just not like, there's a lot of things I like about the movie, but it's not a great Star Wars movie. That's the problem. Is it's not a great Star Wars movie, but there are things about the movie that I like. Now, one of the things I really didn't like, except for, gosh, what was it? The purple hair conspiracy. I think it was the purple hair conspiracy. Except for that, you know, like some of the humor that Poe Dameron did there at the beginning of the movie, like all the sarcasm and everything. I'm like, we're just not used to seeing that in a Star Wars movie, and I don't know. It took me out of the movie kind of early. Like, I was kind of laughing when I first seen it, but I was still sitting there kind of like, I don't know. But overall, though, I mean, I like the movie, but it's just so hard to watch it now. Like all the controversy and everything around it. And I'm not by any means saying that it's a good film at all. Okay, I am not saying that it's a good film at all. If you're gonna trash the movie and say it sucks and go into all that, hey man, I'm not here to draw swords and argue with you there, because I'm not saying it's a good movie. Okay. This movie makes the prequels look good, okay? It does. Even Revenge of the Sith. And I like Revenge of the Sith, and everybody bags on that one so much. And, obviously, The Phantom Menace. And we all know The Phantom Menace to be Jar Jar Binks. Darth Jar Jar. Anyway, yes. Now, like I said, they only stumbled on one movie. Because to me, if you ask me, the Solo movie, even with all the crap that went on with that movie, I actually thought it was a pretty good movie. I don't own it yet. I need to go buy it. But I thought it was a pretty good movie, and I really wish they wouldn't have messed that one up too. I wish they would have left Phil Lord and Chris Miller on that one, because I think that could have been a really good movie. You see the work they've done, you know, like the 21 Jump Street movies. They did Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, and they've done several. They did like the Lego movie. They wrote and directed that one, I believe. In the second one, the one that just came out, I think they were just producers on. I can't remember, but you know, and they you know, maybe they returned to writing on that one, not directing, but writing. Anyway, we can see they're good at what they do, and I think that Solo movie would have been a good one had they just went ahead and did what they did. And you know what? I think in the end, it cost them more money to fire them, hire Ron Howard, and finish the movie. I think it probably cost a lot more money for them to do that. They should have just go with what you got. I mean, you just bring so much more drama with it when you do stuff like that. Just like what would happen with Edgar Wright and Ant-Man. And the thing is, I mean, they still gave him producer credits. They still used his script, Edgar Wright, I'm talking about here with Ant-Man. And, you know, that movie was really good. And you can see, hands down, it is better than Ant-Man and Wasp. However, I will say that Peyton Reed still did a good job with Ant-Man and Wasp, because I really like that movie. But he had all of the groundwork laid there for him. You know, I'd totally give that to Edgar Wright. I mean, it was Edgar Wright that did that. And, you know, and I feel the same way about James Gunn. I think, you know, aside from everything else aside, I think if they really, because now they're saying that they didn't fire him. They were just waiting for it to die down, really, and then they were just going to announce that he was back directing. Now, the thing is, I don't really think that's the case, and I think it costs them more money and a lot more production time to get rid of him and bring him back when they could have just moved on. There were plenty of directors out there that you could go hire to make us a good Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Plenty of good directors. Why don't you just go after somebody else? No, I mean, look at the Thor franchise. You had a different director on each movie. You know what? Each of those movies in its own right is good. A lot of people bag on Thor: The Dark World. You know what? I like that movie. It's a good movie. It is. I like it. It's one I like. And am I going to defend it and say it's a great movie? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I like it. Now, I do think there are other directors that could be hired instead of them carrying on with James Gunn and, you know, delaying things now because he's doing Suicide Squad 2. And you know what? If you want to see somebody else that feels passionate about this subject, I'll leave another link down in the description as well. It is called Nerdy Blurb TV. He just did a video, and he was talking about the James Gunn thing, them rehiring him, and they could have got somebody else for it. And he just did an interesting video on that, and I pretty much agree with him as well. Somebody else could have been doing this. Check him out, Nerdy Blurb TV. I'll make sure I leave a link down in the description for that. Now, and like I said, so I would still give Disney my money for that. And one of these days, I'm probably going to renew my annual passes at Disneyland, and we're going to go to Star Wars Land and all that stuff. I'm hoping that J.J. Abrams is going to reel it all in. He's going to reel it all in. He will, man. Have faith in J.J. Abrams. He hasn't, well, failed Star Wars yet. Some would say differently about Star Trek. I thought the first Star Trek he did was great. And the second one, I can't remember. I thought it was pretty good too. But apparently the one after that was kind of a train wreck. Okay, Cue Ball says, hey, as long as we get another movie real soon with a scene with a group of heroes walking in slow motion toward a ship, dramatically getting ready for a mission. Yeah, that's true. And that's all we really need, right? It's just a build up to it, you know? Just, team, just walking up, dramatic music playing. That's all we really need. That's all we really need. That'll get us excited. Okay. What else do we got here? They're preparing. CJ says they're preparing for it. He's gonna be there the whole time. Is the actors at the event? I'm sure he will. Oh, they're preparing for it right now. And then okay. They're preparing for that thing down there at the Apple headquarters. I'll take a picture, write it down. I don't give a. Take a picture, write it down. I don't give a fuck. I suppose it was more Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson that destroyed Star Wars, but Disney could have cut them loose, but they didn't. Hopefully, J.J. Abrams can salvage Episode 9, but I'm not excited for it. You know what? Honestly, I haven't been excited for it neither. But the thing is they haven't given us anything to be excited for at the same time. And here's another thing. People are already chomping at the bit for a title for the new Episode 9. And you know what? This is the same thing that happened with Avengers Endgame. Right after Infinity War came out, I think it was Kevin Feige and even the directors, the Russos, and pretty much the studio came out and said, we're not going to release the name of the film until we feel all our general audience that wants to see this movie has seen it. We're not going to release the name of the movie until we feel all the general audience has seen it. All the people that they felt were going to see the movie has seen the movie. And you know what? And that is actually a long time if you think about it, because not everybody can afford to go to the movie theater. Not everybody wants to go to the movie theater. So what are they going to wait for? They're going to wait for it, to leave the movie theater. Maybe they don't want to go to the dollar theater if you have a dollar theater in there. Maybe they don't want to go to the dollar theater. Maybe they just don't like going to the theater. So they're going to wait for it to come out on DVD or to a streaming service. If they're going to wait for it on DVD, they're going to wait a while, and it's probably not going to be available on a lot of streaming services until a lot later. Now, there are things like Vudu where you can get on there and buy just a digital download as soon as it's available on digital, and a lot of times they'll send you out the physical disc as well. Or a lot of times you can rent it on Vudu, but you can't rent it until it's actually not when it's released on digital, but not until the actual physical disc has been released out in stores. So they do have a little bit of the edge on the streaming on there. So, as far as that, once again, streaming strikes again. Streaming strikes again. But and like I said, it's going to take a long time for them to, I think we're like 9 months out still from when Star Wars is going to be released. So do we need a title yet? Not really. Do we need a trailer yet? Not really. Like I said, the same thing happened after Infinity War. Everybody, especially because the way it ended, it left us wanting more. Now the thing is everybody's wanting to know right now for the Episode 9. But Episode 8 didn't leave us wanting more, did it? No. So I mean, I get why you're not psyched for it. I'm not psyched for it, but I think eventually, once they start rolling out some of that stuff, because I'm pretty sure at this point, anybody who's going to see Star Wars Episode 8 has seen Star Wars Episode 8. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's seen that wants to see it or going to see it. Now, the thing is they've got plenty of time to start building hype for the movie. Plenty of time. And you know what? I've got plenty of things to worry about in the meantime. And that's one thing I was talking about, like I was talking about earlier, was the Den of Nerds. They cover Star Wars, I don't know, at least once a week. And they kind of keep me updated on that, because I haven't been tracking down any Star Wars stuff whatsoever. So, like I said, I'm just not hyped for it. We've got Shazam. I'm going to go see Shazam tomorrow. I'm going to go see Shazam tomorrow. There's a sneak preview of it. I'm going to go be seeing that. So I will have a review coming up as soon as I'm out of there. So tomorrow I may do that live. So I may announce that here. Well, I'm going to go see it at 7 o'clock. So I probably won't be out till about this time. So I may just record something and do it and release it in the morning, drop it in the morning. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do something live. If you guys want me to do something live on Sunday morning, let me know down in the comments. I'll do something live on Sunday morning or even Saturday night. Let me know. Which would you prefer? Saturday night, Sunday morning? Because if I have any people viewing in different parts of the world, by the time I get out of the movie, say at this time, it's probably kind of late for some of them. So take that into consideration as well, because we're out here on the West Coast. So I am going to go see Shazam tomorrow. Now, like I said, they've got time to build up for it, and I've got other things to worry about right now. We've got, like I said, Shazam's coming up. Hellboy's getting ready to come out. I'll probably go see Hellboy. Pikachu's coming out. We've got Spider-Man Far From Home. So there's plenty of things coming out for us to tide me over until we get there. And gosh, what else is there? I still haven't been to see Alit Battle Angel. Oh, we got John Wick gonna be coming out soon. John Wick's gonna be good. And that Quentin Tarantino movie's coming out in the meantime. It seems like we've got a pretty good year of movies getting ready to come out. Slated for the year. So I can't wait. I can't wait for that. There's a new movie just came out of theaters as well. That movie Us, Jordan Peele's new movie. A lot of mixed reviews about it. Some people saying it's really good. Some people saying I don't know. I'll end up going to check that out at the movie theater as well. Like, I like Jordan Peele and what he done with the movie Get Out, or was it Get Out? No, was it? I think it was. I can't remember. But it was a good movie. I own it, and it was. I thought it was pretty good. I'll go check his stuff out. He's getting ready to host the Twilight Zone show, so I'm kind of a fan of his. We'll see where that goes. Let's see. Star Wars Episode 9: The Force is Female. That's the title. It might be. Will the X-Men be a part of Endgame? Nah, the X-Men aren't going to be a part of Endgame. I don't even think they're going to be teased. I don't think they're going to be mentioned. I don't think it's going to be an Easter egg. Nothing. I don't think nothing. Nothing like that. Only because they just acquired those properties. They'd have to fit it in right now. I'm not saying they don't have time, but I don't think we're gonna get anything like that in there. I just don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah. So I don't know. They could, but I just don't see them doing something like that. No X-Men will be a part of Endgame. Yeah, like I said, I don't think they will. The Hawkman comic. Sure. Send me your information, and I'll send that out to you. You're gonna have to. Like I said, get a hold of me in my About section and send me your information. I can get that sent out to you. Okay. Let's see. Well, I think that's all I really have for today, folks. Like I said, I am going to be doing a giveaway once we hit 200 subscribers on this channel. I'm going to be doing the giveaway for Warner Brothers Aquaman, so make sure you invite your friends. We're almost at 150, so I was thinking about doing something at 152, but we're almost at 200. Okay, we're at 140. I think 140 right now. So we're getting close to 200. So make sure you invite your friends and tell them to subscribe, turn on the notifications, and make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section to get entered into the giveaway for a digital copy of Warner Brothers Aquaman. And yeah, and like I said, I've got other giveaways I'm gonna be doing. I'm sure I'll be doing a giveaway of the digital copy of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soon. So make sure you're subscribed. Click the little bell anytime we have so you get notified anytime we have uploaded new content. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And while you're at it, make sure you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Trailer Park Live. Have a great night. And once again, thank you for tuning in. Have a good one.
Lay around and watch TV, not doing much is the life for me. Could take a shower cause I really think, but nah, I think I'd rather drink. I get off on pushing my luck and I'm much better off when I'm totally drunk. I know one of these days my time will come, but until that they give me a bottle of rum. Wake up at 2